Hey y'all, and welcome to the Southland Piper. I'm your host Tim. Hope you're doing well today. I have this Weber deep grain that got a problem with the stem. So let's turn around to the workbench and take a look. All right, the Stummel is not in bad shape. We do have quite a bit of carbon up on the top rim, but the big issue with this one, I've got some pretty good tooth marks in this one, but this happens when a pipe is left in a car, maybe left up on a dash. The stem will heat up and they have a tendency to straighten out when they heat up. And that's what's happened with this one. Most bowls, the stem and bowl should be in parallel with each other. This is a Peterson, and you can see that the end of the stem comes up about a parallel line. Here's a Dunhill, and it's just slightly past parallel. I don't know how well y'all could tell that, but it's in parallel as well. One more example, a little GBD, and it's slightly under being parallel, but most of them are. This one you put on here, and it just shoots off at an upward angle, so it needs to be rebent. And that's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to refinish the whole pipe, but our concentration is going to be on getting this stem rebent so that it's parallel. The stem ends up parallel with the bowl. All right, let's get started. Well, I have the stem soaking in this before and after deoxidizer. Good stuff. I'll leave that in anywhere between 2 hours and 24 hours. Let's take a little closer look at the Stummel. The carbon seems to be quite thick. Yeah, there's some little lines up here at the top for some reason. There's your Weber deep grain. And see if you can read it. 14 karat gold band. So I'm going to do a general cleaning on it, and then we'll just have to see if we'll have to top it. The rest of it is in pretty good shape, although those little marks right there. Let's go in real close. There you go. I may try to take those out with some steam. Heat the briar up and use a little steam on those. To clean the briar, I'm going to use this before and after briar cleaner. Works really well. Then I'll scrub it down with a soft toothbrush and using a little bit of water out of this cup. The cleaner needs to soak at least 20 minutes. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to ream the pipe out. I guess I'll ream it out after we're done. Sometimes get in a hurry and forget steps I need to take. No real harm. Trying to get this really good and thick on the rim. Give it the best chance of getting clean. All right, we'll lay that right there. Going to scrub this for 3 minutes. Well, I'm not really very pleased with the rim. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand just the rim, but I'm just not happy with that. I don't think it'll look good at all once I start to put wax on it. I could put some wax on around the rim and see what it looks like. I may do that first, but I got a feeling I'm going to be sanding that area. Sanding is what I'm going to do. I do not plan at this point to sand the rest of the Stummel. just because the nomenclature is pretty light. And I'd be working up against that gold band, which wouldn't be any help. So we'll try to match up the rest of the pipe once we have this sanded down. I'll be back when I'm finished sanding. I've got it sanded. It does have a little defect right there. I've tried sanding on that spot and sanding on the whole rim to try to get rid of it, but it just keeps staying there. So it's a little sand pit or something, some little flaw. But I'm going to use the tan on the rim like it turns out. So I'll show you what it looks like after I get the stain back on it. Well, I've changed my mind. I'm going to go with just a regular tan. It'll be just slightly darker. Maybe give us a better chance of covering up that rim. It's going to be darker than what it originally was. That's okay. And the darkening, I think we can live with it. It's an estate. It is an estate pipe, so typically not perfect. Not going to rub much on that rim. Leave it a little darker. Wondered if I got all the wax off. Rubbed it down good with alcohol. Sometimes an estate pipe doesn't do what you think it's going to do. All right, we'll let that dry and we'll buff it out. All right, let's put it on the buffer. I finished buffing the Stummel, but I'll save that for the final reveal as far as looking at it. The stem came really good and clean out of the deoxidizer, but we got a lot of tooth impressions, a lot, and a real big slot. So I'm gonna heat up the stem, see if I can get in here and lift some of these up. The ones on the edge, I might have enough material that I can file those out. I don't know. We may end up having to add some material in here, but let's see what happens. This is going to be a little hard for me to do behind the camera, so let me see if I can do this and I'll show you the results. Some of that did come up, so now I'm going to do some file work, but I got a feeling I'm going to end up adding in some materials. Well, the bottom has this big indention that I just is too deep. Top side's going to be fine. So what I'm going to do is add in just a little G-flex in that area. I know y'all are getting tired of me saying this, but I've never done this before, so it's first time to try it. A little pair of gloves. I've checked them. They're fairly heat resistant, so I'll use those. Let's go for it. Almost forgot one of the most important things, and that is to put a pipe cleaner down the stem so that we don't collapse it. Just about messed up, didn't I? Just about. having let it cool off so I can let go of it. Because if I let go of it before it's cooled off, it will go back to its shape that it had. I believe we've got where we want it. So I went over just a tad. If I'm still a little over this time, I'm going to let it go. You just kind of have to do this by eye. Hopefully, I'm going to get it right. Blow on it a little bit, try to cool it off some. Yep, I like that. That'll work. Let that cool off some more. Still pass air just fine. And I didn't twist it. The other thing you have to be careful of is you could put a twist in the pipe when you bend it. But that'll do. Yep. I'm gonna put a little spot of G-Flex in that divot right there. Y'all seen me do that before, so I'm not gonna cover it, but I'm gonna put just a little speck right in there. Well, there's my little drop of G-Flex, and we'll let that cure overnight, and we'll file it down and do some sanding. Well, there's my repair, and we'll start filing it down. I'll be back in a bit when I'm done filing. Okay, that little patch has been filed down, and we'll start sanding. All right, sanding is done, so let's move on to the buffer. But here's the final results. The rim of the pipe matches the body really well now. The stem is looking really good. You can detect that repair a little bit, but it's still a pretty good match. Need to add a little bit more black next time, black pigment. But all in all, I'm happy with the pipe. Thank you for sharing your time with me today, and hope to talk to you soon. Bye.